Hello and welcome to the 34th episode of the Red Sox Unfiltered podcast. I am your host, Patrick Green, joined, as always, by our lovely co-host, Chris Jerzine. Chris, say hi.
Hi.
That was very enthusiastic. I love that.
Hey, guys.
Let's
do this.
There's the enthusiasm we were looking for. I broke through. So our other lovely co-host, Dave Latham, actually will not be joining us for this intro banner. He is doing holiday traveling. We wish him nothing but the best in that pursuit. So just Chris and I today. But
no days off.
No days off.
Except for Dave.
Who actually was the only one to participate in our upcoming
We
interview.
took the day off that day.
Yeah, we took the day off. We were both working. But Andrew Schwaab, who is the Red Sox prospect, he was just taken from the Rule 5 draft, the minor league portion from the Yankees. Dave will be interviewing him later in the show. It's a great interview, so you got to stick around for that. Get in touch with him. He's a pitcher. He seems like he's got a pretty decent prospect pedigree, so that's really exciting. Got some good underlying numbers there, and that will be later in the show. But for now, we're going to be doing the banter part, which you guys all should know and love, hopefully. If you hate it, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, not since the winter meetings kind of fizzled out, there really hasn't been too much activity. It's actually been slower than I think at any point. Yeah, this time of year around the holidays.
Even Manny Machado's like, I ain't doing this till next year. And everybody's just like, just get it over with, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He's waiting till 2019 to make his decision when he will inevitably sign with the Yankees.
It's crazy, yeah. And it's crazy that, there's been no news on Bryce Harper. Zero. He's just gone.
Yeah, he's kind of went away for a while out of the spotlight. I think the news that with Bryce Harper is that the Dodgers traded Matt Kemp and Yasiel Puig and cleared up some money. Now people are starting the speculation train that maybe Harper goes to the Dodgers, though that salary dump kind of deal that the Dodgers just did doesn't even open up room for them to stay under the luxury tax if they signed Harper. So that'll be interesting, but who really cares? This is a Red Sox podcast, so
I care. Deeply.
You care, and
Deeply.
I bet you, if you like the Red Sox, you probably like MLB at large. So it matters, especially
because it's true.
Yeah.
Some people just pay attention to one team.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But when you're competing with these teams,
and
especially because Machado, especially, has a very good chance of ending up in New York. That's definitely a topic worth talking about, especially, hopefully, after 2019 when the news of his signing will happen, either with the Yankees, Phillies, White Sox, or a mystery team. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's redirect this to Red Sox topics. And the first one will be Bryce Brentz. Bryce Brentz, former Boston Red Sox minor leaguer, played a little bit in the major leagues. He is expected to have a reunion, according to WEEI, Rob Bradford, with the Red Sox. So it's going to be a minor league deal.
Not to be confused with the WWE.
Not to be confused with the WWE.
Which you almost
that has
said,
no relevance. I almost said it. Look, I was a big WWE fan back in the day, so it's just kind of automatic response when I start with the WW. But, yeah, so Bryce Brentz probably going to be back in a Red Sox minor league uniform. Hasn't been official yet. Brentz, he left the Red Sox after last season. I believe he got traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates or something to that effect for not really much of anything. They just didn't have room for him. But, Chris, what do you think about this move? And does he have a clear path of what his role is going to be? Is there any chance he could find himself on the Major League roster at some point?
So there is an article out there somewhere in the interweb. I don't remember where I was vehemently upset at them trading Bryce Brentz. And it was because they have a billion infielders. And they were like, you know what? We're going to get rid of the one guy that could be useful in the outfield.
Yeah.
And that was my anger about it. That's where my thoughts on Bryce Brentz start and end.
Are you still angry?
No.
Especially if they're going to re-sign him.
Yeah, you can't be angry about it now. Because he's going to be here. He's not going to amount to anything. I mean,
no.
He's your typical, I'm just going to be here guy. So
he's still, he's pretty inept at defense, but he's still got a lot of power. He's still hitting the ball extremely well for a AAA player. you would think it would probably translate to around league average offensive production at the major league level.
He's a quadruple A player, basically, at this point.
Yeah, he's quadruple A. Like, he's not good enough for the majors, but he's too good for triple A. Where the hell do you put him?
Nowhere. In triple A?
Nowhere. In purgatory.
Yeah, he's in purgatory.
Yeah, he's in purgatory. He's just a route. But, yeah, Red Sox have Bradley, they have Betts, they have Benintendi. Those three most likely will not go anywhere. J.D. Martinez still gets time in the outfield. Brock Holt is also, versatile utility man, plays the outfield too. It doesn't seem like there's an apparent spot for him to fill. Even Zooey Lin, I would imagine, would be ahead of him on the depth chart if an outfielder got hurt. I wonder if Bryce Brents will be added to the 40-man roster at some point. I don't think he will. We'll see how spring training goes along, but this is not major news. It's nice to have him back because he does have that offensive potential, but it's nothing more than that.
He's 29. Yeah. There's not much. He's going into year 30. Into his year 30, yeah. Into his age 30. It is a year 30 season. Into his age 30 season. So he actually turns 30 on December 30th.
Wow! Happy early birthday to Bryce Brents.
Yeah, Bryce Brents. Good job.
Yeah,
you made it 30 years. Well, not yet, but you will have made it 30 years.
The big 3-0. Next week's episode, we should try to get Brents on the show. Talk about what he did for his birthday. A Bryce Brents birthday special. How about that?
His DMs are not open.
We'll find a way. Maybe we send him an email. I don't know how we would do that, but that would be cool. Bryce Brents, Bryce Brents, happy to have you back. Should provide some insurance for the outfield at the very least. So the next news that we have here is Andrew Benintendi. So his catch in, Game 4 of the ALCS, where he was bases loaded. I don't even know if it was Game 4. I might be getting messed up. But the Astros had bases loaded.
I think it was because it was the difference between going 2-2 and 3-1. Yeah, so it's Game 4. Yeah.
Alex Bregman was up at the plate. You are a wonderful mathematician. 1 + 1 = 2. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, see, you learn something when you do podcasts with mathematicians.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Dave's a mathematician himself as well.
He's probably way better at it than I am.
We'll have a math off next episode if we really get bored. If we really get bored, if there's really no news, we can do a math off.
He'll kick my butt in calculus.
Andrew Benintendi's catch obviously happened with Alex Bregman at the plate. Red Sox were up 2 runs, I believe, and the bases were juiced. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. And Andrew Benintendi made the diving catch head first with a 21% catch probability to win and save the game. It was named, as I just said, AP Play of the Year, and how can it not? Like, what bigger moment was there in terms of one play that just completely changed the outlook of the playoffs, completely changed the course of the playoffs? Andrew Benintendi, congratulations. Chris, do you refute this at all? Do you think this should have been named the Play of the Year?
Yes.
Me too. Good. So there's not much more
We're in agreement.
to dive into. We're in agreement. Good. No dissension.
There is something to dive into that when you had sent me this, I thought we were talking about Andrew Benintendi's cat.
Because it cut off.
Yeah, because it cut off on my phone. And I was like, Andrew Benintendi cat? I was like, what's going on here? I was disappointed to find out that it was not about his cat, and it was about his catch. I would assume that Andrew Benintendi does not have a cat. Life on the road. You're kind of...
That is true. I don't know. Cats are pretty good travel buddies.
I don't know if they're really good travel buddies. They're kind of they're pretty self-sufficient. Like, if you kind of put a cat in there, they'll do their thing. But
then I feel like he would have to get someone to watch the cat, like, all the time. Like, hired a helping hand to just, watch the cat all.
He makes enough money. He can do it.
Yeah, I know he does, but it just kind of seems frivolous at that point.
Huh?
I wonder what percentage of the baseball population has a cat.
Or any sort of animal.
Yeah, even dog. I know David Price has...
I was going to say, a lot of them have probably dogs. Cause,
David Price is Astro, right? Is that his name?
They're not all single. Like, not all the baseball players are single.
Yeah.
So, like, their wives and family can take care of.
Yeah, because I know Benintendi is with a girlfriend. Doesn't really matter, but that's right? That's what I heard, but not married.
I think the rumor is that he has a girlfriend.
Okay, good. Moving on. So the Red Sox are the I think this was from Mark. Oh, I can't remember who the source was, but the Red Sox are apparently waiting on Kimbrel to decide what they do in the relief market. So this kind of contradicts earlier reports that saying the Red Sox were completely out on Kimbrel. Now this is saying the Red Sox are waiting to see what Kimbrel does? Question mark. What does this report mean to you, Chris? And do you think it's feasible that the Red Sox and Craig Kimbrel could have a reunion? I know we've been talking about this for a while, but just continues to be an interesting storyline. He's like the last major Red Sox free agent that's on the market besides Drew Pomeranz, and we're not going to consider him major.
I'm considering Drew Pomeranz major, and I think the Red Sox should just sign somebody else at this point. I just don't see value in him, especially given payroll and all that. So it's kind of like unless they're going to come down from like 5 or 4 years or whatever, because I think he wants the Aroldis Chapman contract, which is 5 years, $86 million. That's the latest report here that I'm reading, and yeah, I just don't see, I don't even see him getting comparable to Nathan Eovaldi money, at least with the Red Sox, because they just don't. They have the money, but they don't have the ability to with the luxury tax. So I would just rather them move on from Craig Kimbrel. Love him, mean it. See ya.
I know. No, I agree. I don't think the Red Sox have really any room for Kimbrel at this point, but for financial-wise, especially if he's going for the $100 million, which is initially his asking price, and even $86 million. And I agree, even if he goes for the Eovaldi range, that would be too much for a closer. The Red Sox could get someone cheaper, and by all indications, they still are in on David Robertson. But that, again, will be a hefty price tag to pay. They got their guy in Eovaldi, they got re-signed Pierce, and now they're just trying to fill the relief market.
They're signing a billion guys to minor league contracts.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 of them at this point. 5, maybe? There might be 5.
Are you talking about relief pitchers or just minor leaguers in general?
Relievers.
And then they traded for Colton Brewer from the Padres.
They traded for Colton Brewer. They signed Ryan Webb.
Oh, Ryan Weber? Ryan Webb?
Webb.
Ex-Oriole?
Weber. Webbity-doo. Webby-doo.
Webby-doo?
Must be Webby-doo. Yes.
I think it is Weber. Ryan Weber, as we frantically search for information about Ryan Weber.
I think it's Ryan Webb.
Is it Ryan Webb? I thought it was Ryan Weber.
No, I think it's Ryan Webb. I think there is a Ryan Weber.
No, it's Ryan Weber. It is Ryan Weber.
What?
Yeah. It's Ryan Weber.
Really?
Yeah. 100%. Ryan Webb was an ex-Orioles, which kind of got me confused. But yeah, Ryan Weber, I did see that they signed him along with Bryce Brentz. So he pitched 5 innings with the Rays last year, really small sample size, but his strikeout rate was 1.69 with a 5.06 ERA. But I mean, in AAA with the Rays last year, he was fantastic. So definitely an interesting guy.
You know what's weird is I can't find all the recent guys that they signed. I can only find Heath Hembry, Gortys Hernandez, and Nathan Eovaldi.
They did sign Hernandez,
but I don't find the
Hembry.
rash of random dudes that they signed.
Well, we'll explore it later when we have more time. Maybe one of us can pop out an article or talk about it on next week's episode. But yeah, there are some minor league free agents who do evoke some interest in terms of spring training and obviously depth purposes. So Hernandez especially. Okay, so we had a Twitter question, and this Twitter question is kind of almost the question that I just asked, and it's from Jay Welch. Jay is an awesome Twitter friend of ours. He frequently comments, likes, retweets our stuff. Go follow him at Welch, WELCH 1719 Jay. So good follow, and his question is, Chris, is with Kelly gone and Kimbrel allegedly coming back down to earth with his contract parameters, will the Sox make a more aggressive pursuit, and should they? What other arms are we chasing? I think we tackled the first part of that question pretty well, and we kind of briefly mentioned I think Robertson is who they're chasing.
I don't think they're being aggressive in the relief market at all. It just doesn't seem like it.
No,
they're kind of
being
waiting.
patient.
They're waiting for it all to fizzle out, and then they're going to try to catch I don't want to say leftovers, but it's kind of where they're
more of a
at.
bargain and not like overpaying for certain guys, which has
been because it doesn't work for relievers overpaying. So.
It doesn't work for really anybody.
I mean, it works in some sense for certain guys where you want
for the players, not for the team.
That's true. I mean, if it's a 1-year contract, it's an overpay. That's fine.
Oh yeah, that doesn't really hurt anyone. But I'm talking multi-year, long contracts.
Yeah, like Robinson,
like Craig Kimbrel's going to get, or David Robertson might get.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't think that the Craig Kimbrel, if you give him 5 years and you're aggressive about that it's going to end well.
Yeah, me neither. And I still think the Red Sox might have some peripheral interest in, just a little bit of interest at the very least, in trying to see what Zach Britton's going to cost. I'm not a big fan of Britton. I think he has definitely lost ticks off of his stuff, and that's really affected because he's basically a one-pitch pitcher.
He's a bum.
Yeah, without the velocity there, it's kind of hard to sustain the production he had as a elite closer for the Orioles for so long. So Britton and Robertson is probably like forefront of the Red Sox mind, but I could definitely see them kind of even going to a lesser reliever, if you will, or maybe like multiple relievers who don't have as high of a pedigree, who just prove that they're decent. Maybe like a Cody Allen on a bounce-back deal, or Brad Boxberger.
Ooh,
someone like that.
I forgot about Cody Allen.
Yeah, Cody Allen, to me, would be a really interesting one, because that is... Or even Kelvin Herrera, they almost got him at the trade deadline last year.
That's what I want, Cody Allen.
Yeah.
There
are some good guys, too. I don't think they'll be in Ottavino at all. Hunter Strickland would be interesting. It's just... Ooh, maybe a Junichi Tozawa reunion. Wow, that would be fun. Sergio Romo's a free agent. There are guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of relievers, so...
Yeah. Ryan Madsen, our best friend in the World Series. Ryan Madsen.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's bring him to the Red Sox.
Oh,
Justin Wilson.
Circle back. Zach Putnam was one of the ones that was signed. Erasmo Ramirez was one that was signed.
Erasmo Ramirez.
And then I still can't find if it was Ryan Weber or Ryan Webb. But you said
it's Ryan Weber. Okay. Guaranteed Ryan Weber.
You guaranteed
Bet my life on it. Yeah.
All right. Well, if somebody calls you out on it, it's all you. It definitely is. I just saw it. Yeah. It's Ryan Weber. I'm wrong. All right.
We're cool.
Isn't Ryan Webb like an old dude? I think he's an old dude.
I think he's older. I really did like Ryan Webb at a point. Not that this has any bearing on any Red Sox related thing, but I thought Ryan Webb was pretty underrated for most of his career. Had some good peripherals, but Ryan Webb probably doesn't have much of a career anymore. Actually, wasn't he on the Dodgers recently, Ryan Webb?
No idea.
Doesn't matter. Let's move on to our last topic. Our last topic, the Red Sox have... So Troy Tulowitzki was released from the Toronto Blue Jays after a very disappointing career in Toronto, north of the border. He held a workout for teams because he's been battled injuries. He's been underperforming. He's on the field. But, Troy Tulowitzki at one point was kind of looking like a future Hall of Famer, one of the best shortstops of our generation. And now Troy Tulowitzki is a free agent. He's still not terribly old, and he still might have potential. And the Red Sox were among teams that expressed interest. Chris, do you think the Red Sox should get involved in the Troy Tulowitzki sweepstakes? And if they do sign him, where does he fit in?
He doesn't fit in. That's why I'm going to say no. Here for nothing, that's fine. But where does he fit in unless he's like, I'll play second base while Dustin Pedroia. Again, you have too many infielders, so you need a trade or part ways with somebody.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Because I don't know. We had Bogarts isn't going anywhere as far as we know.
Yeah, and we had that rumor earlier. We talked about last week's episode 33, where they were thinking about Red Sox. There were reports that the Red Sox were thinking about trading Bogarts, but that seems pretty ridiculous. I don't know if Tulowitzki would be.
It wouldn't make sense to trade Bogarts and then put Tulowitzki there. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a video game move or something like that. But
yeah, it does not make sense. And they have Eduardo Nunez and Brock Holt, so that would be really weird, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't see that. Ryan Webb, by the way, is almost 33, and he last pitched for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, Ryan Webb. Did he pitch last year for the Rays?
No, 2016.
Oh.
Well, unless there's another Ryan Webb.
Now I'm sad that Ryan Webb's gone.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize.
I'll get over it.
Tulo, like, I would love to see him in a Red Sox uniform, but I don't. The only way I see it is second base. Second base is the only plays. But even then,
maybe contingency for Devers. Maybe he could play third, or you move Holt Nunez to third base because Nunez is better at third base. I don't know. It could add some infield depth, but at the same time,
it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, especially if Pedroia is healthy, which you can't really rely on that. But if Pedroia is healthy, it doesn't really make sense for where Tulowitzki would go.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's actually going to do it for our intro banter. Do you have any departing thoughts for the listeners?
Drew Pomeranz, 2019 Cy Young. No,
where's he going to go?
I don't know. Out of baseball to the sun. I don't think Drew Pomeranz is amounting to anything next year.
Can become an intergalactic starting pitcher in some other galaxy. I would love to see that.
My departing thought is that if you have never had eggnog in your life, go buy some and drink it.
I've never had eggnog in my life, and that's exactly what I was going to do. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I read your mind. Look at that.
You read my mind. My gosh, Chris. Look at that anticipation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's got to be mine. Go buy eggnog if you've never had it. I've never had it. And happy holidays, everyone. We'll be back next week with we'll do those. We'll do the concluding after this episode, after the interview, rather. So coming up here, Dave Latham's going to be interviewing Andrew Schwaab, the Rule 5 draft pick of the minor league portion of the Boston Red Sox. Now a very interesting Red Sox prospect. So stay tuned as we switch to that. Thanks for listening to this part, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our interview portion of the show. We've got Andrew Schwaab of the Boston Red Sox organization, recently acquired in the minor league portion of the Rule 5 draft. Andrew, how are you today?
I'm doing well, David. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well also. Happy the holidays are almost here. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're really excited to have you.
Oh, no problem. I'm appreciative of you guys inviting me to do an interview. Thank you.
All right, so let's get right into it. First off, congratulations on joining the reigning World Series champions. We're very excited that you are a part of the organization. So the Rule 5 draft, the minor league portion at least, doesn't get that much coverage, so a lot of our listeners probably don't know too much about you as a pitcher. Could you just give us a little bit of a brief summary of your journey through the minor leagues and how you got to where you are today?
Yes, of course. First of all, thank you. I'm excited as well to be a part of the Red Sox. Super pumped for this opportunity. But the Rule 5, I've been trying to explain this to people around here as well. They definitely don't gather the minor league portion. They all think that I'm on the major league roster. But so my path to where I'm at now, actually, I went to junior college for 2 years called Crowder College. And then I transferred to the University of Missouri, also known as Mizzou, for 2 years. And I was picked up as a senior sign and as a free agent, and then was with the Yankees for 4 seasons, where my first year I was in rookie ball, GCL, and Appalachian League, and then my first full season I was in Charleston and spent some time in High A Tampa as well. And then in 2017 I broke with the High A Tampa team and got promoted about halfway through the season to Double A, where I finished out the year really strong, and then went to the Arizona Fall League that year in 2017. And then this past season, I was in Trenton to start the year, which is Double A, and then got sent down late May, early June to High A, and that's where I struggled a little bit. And then I was there for a couple months, and the Yankees decided to release me. And then the Detroit Tigers picked me up and sent me to their Double A affiliate, which is the Erie Seawolves. And then I signed my contract with the Tigers right as the World Series was getting over. So once the World Series was over, that's whenever my contract was signed. And then shortly after that, now I'm with the Red Sox.
Yeah, been quite a journey, especially over the last year or so. Could you tell us, so obviously the Red Sox selected you. Have you spoken with anyone in the organization about their plans for you and where you're probably going to be starting the season?
Yeah, so whenever the whole thing happened on that Thursday, the Tigers called me first just to say their goodbyes and everything like that. But then shortly after, Red Sox reached out to me just to, first of all, thank me and congratulate me and all that good stuff, but they kind of just insinuated that they have a plan for me, and they were just trying to get to know me as a pitcher a little bit about my arsenal and stuff like that. I tried to get a little bit of a grip on where I was going to start. Clearly, and at this point of the season, or this point of the off season, I should say, it's a little bit more secretive, and it's not, there's a lot of things that can change between now and the end of spring training. So that I wasn't really given an answer, but I would imagine I would start in Portland. And so as we move forward through spring training, I'll just continue to work, and we'll see what happens.
That's awesome to hear. I'm actually a regular at the Sea Dog, so I hope to see you on the mound quite a few times when you're there.
I appreciate it. I hope so as well.
Okay, so you mentioned the Red Sox are sort of, like, they said they have a plan for you, but they still want to kind of feel out what it is you bring as a pitcher. What is it you feel that you are best at when you're on the mound?
I just feel, first of all, like, the mentality I have is usually pretty strong as, like, a closer, kind of going out there, it's strike one, getting ahead and just getting hitters out and just, really being aggressive early in the count. That's what I've mostly been known for. That's what got me through high school, got me through college, all that stuff. So, and just having that chip on my shoulder going out there and trying to prove myself has always been a good thing. So I think the Red Sox are really honed in on the fact that I get a lot of ground balls, especially with right-handed hitters. I predominantly get right-handed hitters out most of the time, and the strikeout rate against them is a little bit higher than it is against lefties. So I'm just able to really, especially in today's game, being a right-on-right guy and being a sidearm guy, it might actually help them later down the road, further into the season and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of where their head's at. Clearly, I still have my ways of working and development. I want to be able to get left-handed hitters out more consistently and just have a better approach with pitching to them. So that's something that I'm focusing on this off season as well.
That's great to hear. So you mentioned you're a sidearmer, which isn't really normal, especially in today's day and age where they're trying to sort of, at least from the outside looking in, it appears a lot of organizations are trying to unify motion, sort of a one-size-fit-all approach to mechanics. How did you develop the sidearm?
Well, when I was younger in high school, I was, even when I was younger than that, I always threw hard and had a bit of a command issue, which clearly it still comes up here and there in today's, for me at my age now. But over time, I just had to develop a way to throw strikes, and with making some mechanical adjustments when I was younger, it kind of caused me to drop my slot a little bit, just kind of found that natural arm slot, which I was a little bit lower three-quarter, mid-three-quarter in junior college. And when I got to Mizzou, I dropped a little bit more just because I felt like I could throw harder, and I was then. And then as I progressed through pro ball, it was the same thing. Felt natural there, felt comfortable there. My slider was really sharp then, and I was getting later movement, and I was getting a lot of sink and run with my fastball. So I just felt like that was the way to go. There's been a few outings I've had over the past years where, I'll feel really good that day, and I might try and raise my arm slot a little bit and get on top of the ball, and those are the times that I get like 95, 96 coming out. So being able to utilize that, kind of have that in my arsenal as well, is something that's going to help me move forward this next season.
It's wonderful. So I was actually checking out your numbers, and from 2015 to 2017, your first 3 years, you had a 2.74 ERA and a 2.89 FIP throughout your minor league career. You mentioned earlier you struggled in 2018. What's the plan to, I don't want to sound crude here, but what's the plan to sort of get back to the earlier career form in 2019?
Oh, it doesn't sound crude at all. I'm honestly on the same page as that. I'm trying to get back to where I was at before a little bit. And it's not a big change, honestly. Physically, I'm doing everything I need to. I'm in better shape now. I feel strong. I'm feeling confident. And that's the biggest thing for me is that confidence portion. It's the mental part of the game that I just need to stay focused and go out there and have that mentality of get ahead and stay ahead. And, 3 pitches or less. You really simplify my thinking and not really try to put too much pressure on myself, and then also just going out there and having fun, you know what I'm saying? So last year I struggled a little bit with, just mentally, like I said, and it was kind of getting me down in the dumps. It was just one of those seasons. I feel like everybody goes through it, and, that's what some of the Yankees personnel were telling me, like, everybody goes through this at least once. The guys that don't go through it in the minor leagues, they'll go through it in the big leagues, and it hits them even harder. So be thankful that you're going through it now. And now that I'm in this position, coming over to the Red Sox, last year's behind me. I can sit down, I can look back, and I can be like, you know what, they were right. I'm ready to go. So now it's just about turning the page, getting back on the mound, going out there and getting out.
That's awesome to hear, and I'm rooting really hard for you. Wishing nothing but the best. I've never seen you pitch live, obviously, but just looking at your numbers from what you were before, you really seemed like, especially for a guy that was undrafted, most guys don't post numbers like that. So I am pretty excited to see what happens with you heading into 2019 now that you're with the Red Sox. So as far as your pitch tool goes, tell us a little bit about what you throw, what you bring when you're out on the mound.
So I have a 4-seam fastball that you normally get a little bit more run with that, and I can also throw it up in the zone. So I'm working on trying to get that to be a little straighter, which I know it sounds weird, especially coming from what I'm normally known for, which is having a lot of movement, just so I can able to sneak that ball up and in the left-handed hitters a little bit more. So I'll have a 4-seam. I have a sinker that I like to throw into righties and away from lefties and stuff like that and locate it. And then I also have a slider that I'm pretty much been known for since I was a kid, is having that good breaking ball. So just now taking it from a curveball to a slider and dropping my slot a little bit. Now it's a little sharper. I'm trying to work on the varying of speed, throwing it behind the count, locating it on arm side, so backdoor sliders and stuff like that. And then, of course, I have a changeup as well, in which on top of that I'm trying to develop and get more comfortable in throwing it earlier in the count, throwing it for strikes, being able to throw it in 2-strike counts, and not just being predominantly known as a fastball slider guy. I want hitters to, realize, oh, shoot, he's got a changeup too, So that's something that I have as well. So you can call it a 4-pitch mix, but it's still only 3 pitches. I just play with my fastball a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because obviously, I've never swung a major league bat or a minor league bat, but the more you can do, the more hitters have to think about, makes everything else play up, obviously. So, now that you're with the Red Sox organization, I know that Colton Brewer, you guys went through the system together, and there's a few others. Have you spoken with anyone, like the players in the Red Sox organization? Have you reached out to them, or has anyone reached out to you?
I have not reached out to anybody yet, and no one's reached out to me. I think the news is still pretty fresh, especially with it being right before the holidays, so people aren't really, maybe realizing what's going on. I will certainly reach out to Colton right before spring training just to catch up with him a little bit and see what's going on. With Tanner Houck as well, I play with him at Mizzou, so it'd be a good opportunity for me to reach out to him and see how he's doing. And then there's some other guys too that I played against growing up, and even in the last few years being in pro ball, that, just familiar faces that whenever I walk into the clubhouse, I won't feel like an outcast. So I'll definitely reach out to them once we get closer and just try to make friends before I walk in there, so it doesn't feel like, I'm just a new guy and they're like, why is he here and stuff like that. It's a little bit more like, I'm a Red Sox now, so let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely some friends I have in the organization, and I'm looking to make some more.
That's wonderful to hear. And you mentioned earlier in your interview that you started out 2018 with the Yankees, but you actually they released you and you joined the Tigers, and now you're with the Red Sox. Do you think, sort of in a sense, already going through the transition from one organization to another, do you think that's going to help sort of ease the blow from doing it basically again?
I think it'll definitely help. I was a little shocked, I guess, whenever they released me, and it definitely was a little bit of like a, I didn't see it coming at the time. But whenever I went to Erie with the Tigers, I had a good buddy of mine that I played with at Mizzou as well. His name's Josh Lester. He's a position player. And then I had some other friends just because of him that, I met him right away and we hit it off. So it wasn't too bad of a transition. I think it's a little bit different going to an affiliate in the middle of the season because there's only like 25 guys in the clubhouse plus the coaching staff. So it's a little bit easier to get to know everybody. This will be definitely different for me going into a spring training where, I got to the point where I was considered a veteran minor league guy in a sense. So I'm an older minor league player in the Yankee system where, people were looking up to me, asking me for answers and stuff like that. So now I'm going to be a little bit in the reverse role again, being a first-year guy with the Red Sox. I'll have to go in there and figure out how the system works, how they, move through their days and stuff like that. But I'm not too worried about it. I think I'm mature enough and old enough now to understand, how to ask questions and stuff like that. But the transition to the Tigers definitely will help me moving forward with the Red Sox.
Awesome. So, so obviously there's no baseball going on right now. How does minor leaguers spend their winter?
Well, for me this off season, I've been, like I said before, I've been really focusing on getting in better shape and getting my body where I wanted at, just because I gained a lot of weight over the last couple of years. I think my metabolism finally slowed down, and all the food I've been eating finally caught up with me. It wasn't a crazy big gain of weight, so I was just trying to fluctuate and get back down a little bit, feeling strong, feeling like an athlete again. So that's what I've been doing during the day. So Monday through Saturday, really, I work out in the mornings for a couple hours, and then I come to the facility where I work at. It's called Bardo's Down in Sports, and I actually teach a baseball program out here, and I do private lessons as well. So I'm constantly thinking and focusing on baseball, just trying to get better in every way. And teaching the kids is actually something that's helping me a lot along this off season. So,
yeah, that's awesome, especially the teaching kids thing. Because actually, when I was younger, I want to say I was like maybe 10, 11. I actually went to a camp that was something similar. One of the Red Sox minor league pitchers, he never made it to the pros, but he was one of the instructors. And I always found it was cool being like right next to being like, oh my God, this guy's like, he does pros and he's here teaching me.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I get a lot of recognition for that. People are like, oh, wait, you play for the Red Sox now? Because literally last week it was pretty much I was with the Tigers, so everybody's a little confused on what's going on. But it literally parents, kids, the staff here, everybody's coming up and saying something to me almost every day. So it's nice to have that background, especially even playing with the Yankees before, because kids look up to that. You look at them and they're like, man, I want to be in your shoes. And it's like, well, let's work. Let's do this, So it helps me to get motivated, and it helps me to motivate them. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I definitely, when I was younger, I didn't really work with any pro guys in my shoes, at least. I always took pitching lessons and stuff like that. I had a few once I got older that played pro ball, but it was never anything like, what I'm giving back and doing. So it's nice to be in the place that I am now and trying to help kids develop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sounds like a great way to spend the winter. Gets you ready and also helps teach the kids, which everyone loves. All right, so that is probably going to do it for me. Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on to the show.
Oh, no problem at all. If you guys ever want to do another interview or anything, any questions, just reach out to me.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll take you up on that offer. But until then, enjoy the holidays, Merry Christmas, and best of luck next year with the Sox.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Have a good Christmas as well and a Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys here in a few months.
All right. Have a good one, Andrew.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming on the show, Andrew Schwaab. That was a lovely interview conducted by our great Dave Latham. You can listen to this podcast on a variety of platforms. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes. If our awesome affiliates at Grueling Truth post us on their many platforms, you can also listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadios, Stitcher, among other places. So basically you can find us a plethora of platforms to hear this podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. Again, happy holidays, and we'll talk to you guys, and we'll talk, and you will listen on next week's episode. Bye, guys. Go Red Sox.
Bye.
You really need to just do like a blooper reel.
I'm gonna create a blooper section. I just dropped a stick of deodorant. I don't even know why I'm playing with a stick of deodorant. Like, it just fell out of the case of deodorant, and just the stick just fell out.
Why are you playing with deodorant?
Well, I'm doing an interview, so I like to play with stuff. I don't know. I just throw stuff up in the air.
All right.
Is that weird?
No.
Hey, Dave, you're a little muffled, just FYI.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll really try to enunciate, but I'm not sure how much I can do about that.
Yeah, hold the phone to your face like it's a pizza.
Okay, I have it literally as close to the face as I can.
Hey, there we go.
That's a little better.
How does one hold their phone like a pizza?
Like you're going to eat a pizza.
Oh.
You put the microphone like you're going to eat the microphone.
I understand now.
Like the bottom of your phone. You just act like you're going to eat it.
Yeah, that is kind of pizza-like.
Yeah. He disappeared, and I was like, he's not coming back. I was like, where'd he go? And so you know how when you were calling me on Google Voice, it was like, hey,
Yeah.
you have to say your name or whatever.
Yeah.
He kept saying my name because he kept calling me. He had to call me like 10 times. It was annoying. And he got to a certain point where you could just like hear his anger. He was just like, David Latham by the end. He's going to come to the phone and murder my phone. This is going in the bloopers, and this guy's going to be like, I hate everything. Andrew Schwaab. Schwab?
Schwab or Schwab?
Schwab. I think it's Schwab.
What is it?
It's got to be Schwab. Hold on.
Because I know, like, Charles E. Schwab, but this
isn't there like a pronunciation somewhere or something?
I looked up Baseball Reference, but I don't know if they have it for minor leaguers. I looked up Schwab, but there's no one named Schwab. Schwab.
I'm gonna guess it's Schwab.
Schwab. Andrew Schwaab. I bet you it's Schwab.
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 Even with the double A? Schwab.
Schwab.
Yeah,
Schwab.
Schwab. Definitely Schwab.
Andrew Schwab.
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 I like this one.
Schwab.
Andrew Schwab.
How do you
We got this.
I wonder if my name's in here.
I'm not even going to look up my last name. I know
my name's in here. What do you think? Go on.
Drozen.
Here. Drozen?
Drozen.
It's wrong.
Drozen.
That's also
Drozen.
wrong.
Drozen.
That's also wrong.
None of these are right.
No, I never made it to Little League.
Oh, T-ball.
Yeah, afraid of the ball. I was legitimately afraid of the ball. So like I was. No, it was live. It was live.
Oh, okay.
It was like a step below Little League.
Okay.
Yeah, so like.
Was it out of like a machine?
No, it was like because I used to pitch. Like I used to.
Oh yeah. Not
all the time, but like they would have me pitch every once in a while, and like I just couldn't hit. I was like afraid of the ball. I was just like, I don't want anything to do with this ball coming at me.
That's what I'm saying. You could theoretically be the next Greg Kimbrel right now.
Yeah, I could have been. Like I could have been.
I don't think we should give up hope yet. There's still time.
I think we should. I'm 28 and
ready to go.
Kind of Bartolo Colon-ish. And
you're set. Look at Bartolo Colon.
That's true.
The most beloved Major League Baseball
If I can figure out how to locate it and throw 88, I'll be good to go.
You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
God, where's Bartolo Colon now?
He's a free agent.
Is he? Oh, that's exciting. Red Sox.
It's not exciting because like he's not going to find a contract and then he's going to have to retire.
He will get a minor league contract, guaranteed.
You think so?
Yeah.
He had a 5.78 ERA last year.
Yeah, but it's Bartolo freaking Colon. God, he debuted before I was born.
That's crazy.
1997.
He's like the only dude left.
Yeah. Let's see. He had a 5.78 ERA, but his underlying numbers were even worse.
Geez, here we go. Oh, his underlying numbers are worse?
They're lateral. They're about the same. Holy crap, he's bad. Oh my god. Wow, that is ugly.
Dude has thrown 3,461 innings.
Shit.
He was on the Red Sox once.
Yeah, he was. Wasn't he a Cy Young contender with the Red Sox?
2008, 3.92? No, I don't think so.
It must have been with the Angels.
Angels 3.48 ERA, 5.11.
293, 2002. 4.4 F WAR.
That was Cleveland and Montreal.
Oh, yes, that one.
And then in Oakland in 2013, at the age of 40, he had a 2.65 ERA.
Jesus, man.
What is that?
I'm telling you, he's still good to go. There's still something left in the tank. He didn't do bad with the Mets either in 2016.
Bartolo, number 5 Red Sox starter. Let's do it.
I went Christmas shopping at the dollar store, 'cause I had a long list of holiday chores. Those sleigh bells jingled as I walked through the door. I saw trash and tinsel all over the floor. I saw stressed out husbands with stressed out wives. I saw mothers with children with tears in their eyes. They were crying out, screaming, "Mother, I want this," as they would be reminded of the naughty list. Then I saw a grandmother, she was frail and gray. As she walked down the aisle, she shoved me out of the way. I saw the same knuckleheads from up the street as they ripped through the store like savage beasts. I saw a dude with the bottle, he was acting hard, getting thrown out of the store by the security guard. I saw people grabbing almost anything as a gift so they could say they were finished and cross it off of the list. I saw two ladies fighting in aisle 3, and that's when I said that's enough for me. I took all of my items, I threw them down on the floor. Without saying a word, I walked out the front door. When I got to the corner, I looked back once more, shook my hand and said that was like fighting a war. Man, I should have known better. And then I swore to never go shopping at the dollar store for Christmas.